Yo, you're in PE with Dave and Jay. What we build while we build. I'm Jay.
I'm Dave, and today PE stands for positive energy.
Positive energy. Let's get it. All
Positive
day, all
energy.
day. Yeah. What we got going on today? Today is
All right.
buys and back, right?
Yeah, buys and
Get it.
back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a deadlift. So just for a lot of you newcomers or a lot of you beginners when it comes to the workout, man, I recommend doing a deadlift on a rack such as this that it's actually attached to rails. Not going to go heavy today. I'm actually I have issues with my lower back, so I try to take it a little slow and light when I'm doing this deadlift. But this is a great compound exercise because it gets your glutes, your hamstrings, um, and yeah, it's just a it's just a good workout. It's just something that you don't want to leave out of your workout regimen. So
What's our
pretty
reps
much
on
right
this,
now.
Dave?
So looks like we're doing 3 times 15.
Okay.
You can raise the weight by 5 or by 2.5, whatever you want. I'm gonna do mine at 2.5. And pretty much the exercise is this: you keep your legs straight, you extend down, and you just kind of pull up, full extension. Simple as that, guys. Simple as that. Nothing to
All
it.
right. So a lot of times when I do deadlifts or see people do deadlifts, they have their hands like this, Dave. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're going pretty heavy,
Yeah.
to protect your biceps, yes, I would recommend that. But because I'm going light, I keep them the same distance. I mean, I'm not a certain distance and also the same direction.
Same direction. All right. Cool. All right. It's your set, Dave.
That's a good point. Good point. Good point. All right, let me get it in.
All right. Yo, let me tell you what I experienced yesterday, bro. Super excited about this. So I'm in Atlanta. I'm an Atlanta United fan. I went to a watch party last night at the bar. All right. So I was hella worried about like it being crowded or me not being able to get a table. It's a really popping spot. Shout out to Hampton and Hudson. They showed mad love, right? So I put my name on a list online. It says that it's 5 people ahead of me. So I get out there, and when I get up to the hostess, it's a sister, and she's like, "Oh, I already called you." So I'm thinking, here we go with this bullshit, right? So no, it wasn't a problem. She sat me in a nice little exclusive looking section. It was me and my wife, my cousin. That's exactly where I wanted to sit. Right, sat me there, no problem. Right, and then when my cousin actually showed up, he showed up late. The bigger guy, the table was too small. The area was just too small. Right, so I thought, here we go with this bullshit. I'm gonna have to ask her to move my seat. I asked her if we could move seats. When I say that she gave me the best seat in the house after that, and it's a white bar in a white neighborhood, I felt like I was treated with such black privilege. I felt like she was happy to see brown people there. You feel me? She looked like a Latina, kind of like a maybe mixed. She treated me with such privilege where I saw other people. She was talking to white people who got there before me, or she was talking to white people who were waiting to be seated. And by the time my cousin, I said, I'm gonna need to switch seats. She was like, just let me know when your drinks come, close out your table, and I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna take you someplace else. So by the time we got ready, she stopped talking to the white people she was talking to, paid attention to me and my crew, said, I'll be right back to them, went and seated us, gave us a great seat, and then she's a hostess. The whole time we was there, she just kept coming to the table and checking on us when she would pass by seeing somebody else. Y'all good? Y'all good? You need another beer? You need another drink? You need such and such? Man, I felt so privileged. And that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so all right. So the question I have is, do you feel like so did you watch her? Did you notice how she interacted with others? Was it the same? I mean, are we taking credit as far as privilege, or we're saying that she just has good customer service? I mean, which one? How are we looking at that? I mean, again, I'm glad you had a great experience, but is it more so that she's just very good at her job, or she was catering to a different demographic for because it's rare at that
That's
kind
a
of
good
event.
question. That's a good question, man. That's definitely a good question. I mean, I felt special. I saw her, I saw her giving good customer service to other people, but I guess because it was so rare to be treated like that in a white establishment, even especially by a black person, because a lot of times, for instance, the on the opposite side, my wife and I went to have brunch. Brunch is huge in Atlanta. Go to a place we had never been before. It's in a white neighborhood. Uh, you know, um, we get in there and hella crowded.
Uh,
So we get up. My wife and I arrive at the exact same time as this white couple. Like we both pull up same time. It's a black hostess, and she walks over. She was like, "Were y'all here first?" Right? So she goes and talks to them, so that they could rectify the situation. And I'm just
hmm,
looking like that. I'm looking at the lady like, first of all, we share the same skin color. Shouldn't we be on the same team? But
uh,
obviously it's not like that.
uh.
You know. So what do you think about black privilege?
Well, uh, I guess I don't know. I kind of don't know what it means, right? Like, I guess the way I see it, if you had to ask me, um, well, you are asking me, right? But if you're, right off the cuff, I'm looking at it like, well, maybe it's us taking advantage of, you know, taking advantage of the system, a la reparations, right? Like, oh, a la whatever, 40 acres and a mule type deal, right? Like one of those things where it's like, okay, here it is, they gave us affirmative action, and now we're encouraging our folks to utilize those programs, to get ahead. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's like starting a race and being held back for 30 seconds and then carrying on in a 100-meter dash, right? 100-meter dash is only
Right,
9 seconds, 10 seconds long. You know what I mean?
right.
So so just, I think that's what it is. Maybe taking advantage, or take advantage of the bones, like we previously spoke of on previous conversations. Take advantage of those bones that are being thrown our way. I
Ah,
guess
yeah,
that's my mindset when I hear that,
yeah,
when I
taking
hear
advantage.
privilege,
Yeah,
right? But
taking advantage.
not necessarily looking at us as a whole and saying, okay, you are privileged folks, and you have first dibs or whatever have you. I think it's more so, again, us just trying to take advantage of the little things that are being thrown our way to kind of even out the playing field, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it, man. I don't know. How about you? What do you? So you see it differently. You see it as a different concept, another concept.
I see it. I see it as the antithesis of white privilege, right? So white people step into any arena, thinking that they deserve. Not only do they deserve to be there, but they deserve to conquer that space. They're that space is blessed because they are there, and I think we should teach our children that rather than teaching equality, and rather than teaching that, you know, um, we're lucky to be here or we're all the same. I think it might be time for us to start teaching our children what white people teach their children, which is that spaces are blessed because they're there.
Mm,
Spaces are better because they're there. You feel me?
mm,
And that
mm.
they deserve the best and finer things in life. They deserve to get seated first. What about that?
Oh,
That's a little
okay,
controversial. They deserve to get seated first.
okay. And so, all right. So we're gonna talk about. Let me get back on screen here. But when you talk about controversial, now I throw one your way. So when you say seated first opposed to who, right? Like, what are we talking about? Are we saying, um, what class of people, what race of people? I mean, is it that? Is it chronological order? Is it you know what I mean? Like, so who are we trying to sit in front of?
This is a great question, man. Everybody, man, everybody. Make other people. I mean, because we teach our history, right? And when we teach our history, what's the purpose of teaching that we're kings and queens? I literally hear black folks saying, "What's up, king? What's up, queen?" Right? This is a phrase now. This is a greeting now, right?
Yep,
I can't
yep.
see you. But what's the point of teaching that if we're not gonna behave as such, right? Make other
Yeah.
people prove that. Make other people prove by their demeanor and the way that they enter a room that they deserve to be seated at the same table as us. Maybe that's how we need to carry ourselves in order to get this bread, or in order to start preparing our own meals at the table, in order to open our own shit. Because if we keep stepping and fetching and trying to prove that we at least deserve to gain entry, at least just let us in. Please let us in the room. Nah,
Right.
I say fuck that, man. Not only are you gonna let me in, not only am I coming in, but I'm gonna be seated first. And when I get in here, I'm gonna be one of the best tables in the house. You're gonna treat me as such. I feel like I could do one more set of this.
All right, bang it out, and I'll give you my point of view, right?
All right,
that brings me to another, that's a good point, saying that trying to assimilate, right? And honestly, I agree with you 100%. Another point of mine, the way I think is that I think trying to assimilate is probably probably the worst decision, we've ever made. Assimilate, we can't assimilate to these guys' culture. It's apples and oranges, honestly. I mean, I think we flourished, we were better off by ourselves, so that brings the age-old question, segregation, was it good or bad, right? The way I see it, I think actually, once slavery was abolished, we had to come together and bring our thoughts and talents together to actually create great communities and flourishing communities. History showed that we had plenty, great communities.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying that privilege. So you're saying that privilege conversation blends into an even deeper conversation about whether we're really just trying to get a seat at the table, which is desegregation,
exactly.
or whether whether we should just fucking build our own tables and own restaurants. Well, you know what?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Let's get to our next exercise, and let's finish that discussion.
I don't want nothing to sign down.